My esteemed sister, Honorable Mrs. Justice Mona Bhatt, my esteemed brother and sister judges, Mr. Manish Bhatt, Senior Advocate and husband of Justice Mona Bhatt, family members of Justice Mona Bhatt, Mr. Kamal Trivedi, Learned Advocate General, Mr. Mitesh Amin, Learned Additional Advocate General, Ms. Manisha Love Kumar, Learned Additional Advocate General, Mr. Gursharan Singh Virk, Learned Government Pleader, Mr. Hardik Dave, Learned Public Prosecutor, Mr. Yatin Oza, President Gujarat High Court Advocates Association, Mr. Prithvi Jadeja, the Vice President, Gujarat High Court Bar Advocates Association, office bearers of the Gujarat High Court Advocates Association, learned senior advocates and learned members of the bar, the Registrar General and officers of the registry, ladies and gentlemen. It is my proud privilege and honor to address today's full court proceedings to bid farewell to Sister Honorable Justice Mona Bhatt, a distinguished judge of this court. A full court farewell is more than a commemoration of a judge's career. It is an occasion for the court to reflect on the services rendered by the individual to the institution. It is in that spirit that we have gathered today. Justice Mona Bhatt was born on 15th January 1964 in Ahmedabad. Her father, late Mr. Chandrakant Ji Dave, popularly known as Mr. C.G. Dave, was a doyen of the bar and one of the most respected advocates of District Anand. Her mother, Mrs. Urvashi Dave, played a defining role in shaping her values and perspective by imparting life lessons that have later found quiet expression in her professional conduct and judicial temperament. Justice Bhatt's academic journey reflects her confidence to choose a new professional path and discipline to pursue it with commitment and dedication. Justice Bhatt completed Bachelor of Science in Microbiology from Sardar Patel University in 1984, did a diploma in Medical and Laboratory Technology in 1985, and thereafter worked with Karam Sad Medical College, Medical Hospital and College Anand. It seems that being the daughter of a distinguished advocate, she had a quiet inclination to pursue a career in law. After her marriage to Mr. Manish Bhatt and upon encouragement of her father-in-law, Sri R.P. Bhatt, senior advocate, Justice Mona Bhatt chose to enter the legal profession and completed her LLB from L.A. Shah Law College in the year 1990. Justice Bhatt started her journey at the High Court of Gujarat in 1990 alongside her husband, a well-established advocate. Over time, Justice Bhatt built a reputation of her own marked by consistency, preparation, and professional integrity. For over 2 decades, Justice Bhatt served as senior standing counsel for the Income Tax Department and represented the Union Public Service Commission as a special counsel for the state of Gujarat. Justice Bhatt had practiced in the diverse areas of law, including service, matrimonial, contract, and administrative law. She regularly appeared before this court, the Central Administrative Tribunal, and the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. During a long tenure at the bar, Justice Bhatt appeared in numerous matters of legal significance. Her professional standing is reflected in a substantial body of reported decisions, many of which contributed meaningfully to statutory interpretation and law jurisprudence. Alongside her court practice, Justice Bhatt served as the managing partner of M.R. Bhatt and Company, reflecting organizational ability and leadership beyond the courtroom. Justice Bhatt's professional journey was not only marked by her role as an excellent counsel, but also by engagement with social responsibilities. She served as the president of the Federation of Women Lawyers, Gujarat, an organization devoted to advancing the rights and welfare of women and children through the legal framework. This role reflected her commitment to inclusion and access to justice, values that found clear expression in her work on the bench. Justice Bhatt was elevated as a judge of the High Court on 18 October 2021. She brought to the bench over 3 decades of rich experience at the bar, which translated into clarity of reasoning, discipline of approach, and respect for the precedents. Her elevation was welcomed by the bench and the bar alike as a recognition of her competence, integrity, and commitment to the institution. It is often said that a judge is remembered not merely by the judgments authored, but also by the temperament displayed in patience in hearing, fairness in disagreement, and fidelity to process. In a constitutional court, these attributes matter as much as outcomes. Justice Bhatt exemplified these qualities in her conduct on the bench. In a relatively brief but impactful judicial tenure of 4 years and 3 months, Justice Bhatt authored a substantial number of judgments and contributed significantly to the speedy disposal of cases before this court. Her work reflected efficiency, consistency, and a strong sense of institutional responsibility without ever seeking prominence. Her judgments reveal a judicial philosophy grounded in the rule of law, statutory principles, and institutional discipline. They reaffirm settled principles while ensuring that governance remains accountable and lawful. At this moment, it would be more appropriate to briefly refer to few judgments that illustrate the consistency of approach and clarity of reasoning that marked Justice Bhatt's work on the bench. In Achal Anil Bakeri and others versus State of Gujarat and another, reported in 2025 3 GLR 1649, Justice Bhatt held that any modification by the state government under Section 65 of the Gujarat Town Planning Act, which prejudicially affects the rights of landowners, cannot be made without affording them a reasonable opportunity of hearing. The case arose from a challenge to the notification sanctioning a preliminary town planning scheme by which the location of 3 final plots originally allotted to the petitioners was substantially altered without notice. Justice Bhatt held that such prejudicial modification affecting rights of landowners without hearing them was violative of procedural fairness and the principles of natural justice. In Gopinath Apartment Cooperative Housing Society Limited versus State of Gujarat, 2025, Volume 1, GLR 238, Justice Bhatt considered the redevelopment of a 40-year-old residential building found to be in dilapidated and unsafe living conditions. While 95% of the society's members consented to redevelopment under Section 41A of the Gujarat Owners of Flats Act, a small group objected. Justice Bhatt emphasized that Section 41A is intended to ensure safety, habitability, and collective welfare, and that once the statutory requirements, such as unsafe condition of the building and the consent of requisite majority are satisfied, the redevelopment cannot be stalled by minority objections in the larger interest of public safety. In Muhammad Sarif Visad, Purwala, and others versus Ahmedabad Municipal Corporation and others, to 2025 SCC Online Gujarat 3046, Justice Bhatt dealt with a challenge by occupants of an apartment in Jamalpur, Ahmedabad, to demolition notices. The 18-story building was constructed without permission and was situated within 187.19 meters of ASI protected monument. Justice Bhatt held that the construction was only unauthorized and non-regularizable under Section 8.2 of GRUDA 2022, which bars regularization within 300 meters of protected monuments. Justice Bhatt rejected the pleas based on the right to housing, holding that illegality cannot be sustained on grounds of expediency or misplaced sympathy. Taken together, these decisions reflect a measured, consistent, and institutional centric approach that balances individual rights with a statutory mandate, public interest with procedural fairness, and judicial power with constitutional restraint. These contributions now form part of the enduring jurisprudence of this court. Judges, in discharging their oath, do not merely decide disputes, they sustain public confidence in the justice delivery system. As Justice Benjamin Cardozo once observed, I quote, "The judge must balance his sympathy with his judgment, his humanity with his duty." I unquote. Justice Bhatt's work on the bench reflects this fine balance. On the administrative side, Justice Bhatt has served as the chairperson of Internal Complaints Committee of this court since 16th May 2024. Justice Bhatt ensured that all complaints placed before the committee were resolved through a fair and time-bound process. As the chairperson, Justice Bhatt superheaded key initiatives such as installation of display boards and complaint boxes and the launch of a dedicated ICC web page. Justice Bhatt also led a year-long gender sensitization program titled एहसास न्याय का सबके लिए and represented this court at a national conference on the effective implementation of the POSH Act. Further, Justice Bhatt also contributed as a member of the Library Committee and Krish House Committee. Justice Bhatt will demit office on 14 January 2026, and today marks her last working day in this court. Retirement, however, is not an ending but a transition, a passage from one form of public service to another chapter of life, only enriched by experience and reflection. The legal profession has a shared vocation within Justice Bhatt's family. Her husband, Mr. Manish Bhatt, and her father-in-law, Mr. R.P. Bhatt, are both senior advocates of this court. Her elder son, Mr. Malak M. Bhatt, practices as an advocate before the Supreme Court of India, while her younger son, Mr. Munjal M. Bhatt, and her daughters-in-law, Ms. Manasi M. Bhatt and Ms. Shaili M. Bhatt, are practicing advocates of this High Court. This collective association of the family with the bar reflects a continuity of professional values, commitment to the institution, and respect for the traditions of the legal profession. On behalf of all my brother and sister judges, I extend our sincere and heartfelt gratitude to Justice Mauna M. Bhatt for her service to this court and wish her good health, fulfillment, and continued engagement with life and the law in the years ahead. Before concluding, I must say that Justice Bhatt's journey reflects the demanding balance that women are required to maintain between personal and professional responsibilities. Justice Bhatt stands as an inspiration to young women in the legal institutions, demonstrating that discipline, integrity, and perseverance can lead one to the highest levels of the legal profession. This institution has grown stronger in having had her service, and her presence will remain part of this court's collective memory. Thank you.
Honorable the Chief Justice and all the present as well as former Honorable Judges of the High Court of Gujarat present over here, my learned colleagues, Additional Advocate General Mitesh Bhai, Government Pleader Shri Gulshan Rick, Public Prosecutor Shri Hardik Bhai Dave, President Shri Yatin Bhai Oza and Vice President Shri Prithviraj Jadeja and other office bearers of the Gujarat High Court Advocates Association, learned senior advocates, and the members of the legal fraternity of the state, Registrar General, and all the members of the Registry of the High Court, Her Ladyship's family members, and invited dignitaries and guests. We have gathered here today to bid farewell to Her Ladyship, Honorable Mrs. Justice Mauna Bhatt, at the time of her laying down the office of Justice of High Court of Gujarat by dint of her retirement. On behalf of the bar and the legal professional in the state, I associate myself with the profound feelings of affection expressed by Honorable the Chief Justice. Today is a moment of mixed emotions for all of us. Gratitude for a life of service rendered with distinction and a sense of poignancy as we bid farewell to a judge whose presence on the bench has been a source of inspiration and reassurance. It is said that our lawyer's profession is a noble profession. Its nobility is maintained because there are protectors like Justice Bhatt, who has always lived up to the highest standard of integrity, honesty, and sincerity. At this stage, it would not be out of place to look back and warmly reflect on the journey so far undertaken by Mauna Bhatt. As referred to by the Honorable the Chief Justice, born on 15 January 1964 in Ahmedabad, Mauna Bhatt was one of the three siblings in the company of an elder brother and the younger sister in the family of Srimati Urvashi Ben Dave and Sri Chandrakant Bhai Dave. Father Sri Chandrakant Bhai, fondly known as C.G. Dave, was a leading lawyer practicing before the district courts at Anand and Nadiyad. Because of very cultured and candid parents, along with adoring elder brother, who is none other than our learned senior advocate Sri Dhaval Bhai Dave, practicing in our High Court, and a very loving younger sister, Kanan, who is now settled with her husband in US, Mauna Bhatt was lucky enough to get not only love and affection in abundance, but also imbibe lessons of honesty, integrity, and truthfulness right from the childhood, apart from being very outspoken. After completing her schooling from Anand, Mauna Bhatt pursued Bachelor of Science in the subject of microbiology from Sardar Patel University, Vallabh Vidyanagar, in the year 1984, and thereafter got a diploma in medical and laboratory technology from Karamsad Medical Hospital and College in the year 1985. Though Mauna Bhatt's father, Sri C.G. Dave, and elder brother, Sri Dhaval Bhai, were in the legal profession, to the best of my information, she was rather determined not to become a lawyer, but to embark on a journey in the field of science. However, destiny willed otherwise. After her marriage, she was advised to become a lawyer by none other than her father-in-law, Sri R.P. Bhatt, a very renowned learned senior advocate from our High Court, who is presently practicing in the Honourable Supreme Court. Thereafter, there was a complete U-turn in the career. As Mauna Bhatt did graduation in law in the year 1990 from Adesha Law College, after having been enrolled at the bar on 14 December 1987, Mona started practicing with her husband, Sri Manishbhai Bhatt, who is a very respected learned senior advocate practicing in this honorable court and a great source of inspiration and motivation for Mona. Thus, Mona's journey shows that what is meant for you will eventually find you. Soon after starting practice in our High Court, Mona has established herself as an impressive lawyer with expertise in various fields of law such as taxation, civil, service, and matrimonial. While working as managing partner of the firm M.R. Bhatt and Company, she had handled several cases of clients from public as well as private sectors. She was appointed as a senior standing counsel for the Income Tax Department, a position that she held for 2 decades till her elevation. She was also empaneled as a special counsel for Union Public Service Commission. In several cases, Mona was specifically and specially appointed to appear before the Central Administrative Tribunal and Income Tax Appellate Tribunal. Mona actively made efforts to improve access to justice for women and children and enhance their socio-economic well-being. She held the post of President of Federation of Women Lawyers and Gujarat State Chapter of All India Freedom of Women Lawyers, which promote the rights and welfare of women and children, particularly through legal aid, education, and advocacy, and works to advance opportunities for women, particularly in legal field. On 18th October 2021, her ladyship was elevated as a judge of the High Court of Gujarat. During this period of judgeship, Justice Bhatt has had occasion to deal with various issues of law, wherein very important judgments have been handed down, a list whereof is unending. But each of them bespeaks about the pragmatic approach of an experienced judge laying down fine propositions of law, particularly in all fields like service law, tax law, service laws, admiralty laws, and so on. Honorable the Chief Justice just referred to some of the very important judgments. Let me make a reference of few more. In case of Sun Glory Education Foundation versus National Faceless Assessment Center, reported in 2023, 457 ITR 771, in the matter of faceless assessment regime, Justice Bhatt was pleased to hold the non-grant of video conference hearing would constitute breach of principles of natural justice, and therefore the assessment order was set aside. In case of Ultratech Cement versus Assistant Labour Commissioner, reported in 2024 SCC Online Gujarat 1538, the petitioner had challenged the applicability of the Industrial Disputes Gujarat Rules 1966 for declaration of protected workmen. Justice Bhatt took note of the fact that the petitioner company was in cement industry, which was control industry, and therefore the appropriate government would be the central government, and Industrial Disputes Gujarat Central Rules 1957 would be applicable. Pertinently, it was observed that delegation of the powers of the central government upon the state government under Section 39 of the Industrial Disputes Act 1947 would only empower the state government to exercise the powers which are available with the central government, but it would not empower the state government to apply the Gujarat rules to the cement industry to exercise the powers in the matter of declaration of protected workmen. In case of M.V. Shin Long Yoon versus Alliance Career Ship Management, in Admiralty Suit number 6 of 2025, Justice Bhatt passed an order and made important observations that remedy of injunction being an equitable remedy, the principles of equity would be applicable, and therefore the plaintiff seeking injunction must come to the court with clean hands, and in view thereof, the order of arrest came to be vacated on the ground of suppression of material facts. In case of Messrs. Cornet Engineers Private Limited versus Niche Techno Projects Private Limited, a writ petition being Special Civil Application number 12956 of 2025 was filed, challenging the rejection of application under Section 12(3) of the Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996 by the learned arbitrator. Justice Bhatt observed that the petitioner was entitled to apply for termination of mandate of the learned arbitrator in view of justifiable doubts as to his independence or impartiality. However, since the said allegations have been rejected by the learned arbitrator, same can only be challenged before the competent court under Section 34 of the Act once an arbitral award is passed. And lastly, in case of NIT Corporation versus Assistant Registrar Trademark, important judgment with reference to The niceties of the trademarks were laid down, and followed by that, in case of Ful Jaha Nur Mohammad, reported in 2025 SCC Online, Gujarat 1534, a petition was filed challenging the demolition drive of unauthorized encroachment around Chandola Lake. Justice Bhatt rendered a detailed judgment and dismissed the petition while observing that since the illegal structures were constructed on a notified water body and government land, no notice or prior hearing was required, as the petitioners had no vested right to rehabilitation or resettlement on a water body, and that therefore Articles 14 and 21 cannot be said to have been violated. At this stage, I am reminded of an incident when Justice M.C. Chagla's farewell as Chief Justice was arranged by Bombay Bar. Many great achievements of Justice Chagla were referred to. However, in a concluding speech, Justice Chagla, as well as in his autobiography, Roses in December, had said that what I liked was a comment of one member of the bar who stated that in your lordship's court, no one was ever run down, no one was ever insulted, and no one was ever humiliated. Justice Chagla said, it was the only greatest tribute to my judgeship. These words would equally apply to Justice Bhatt, since in a leadership's court, not on a single day, any lawyer, whether junior or senior, has ever felt any discomfort or faced any difficult situation. The atmosphere in the courtroom was always calm and pleasant, and anyone who has argued in Justice Bhatt's court had a good experience, as the leadership would not rush, would not curtail, would not condemn the lawyers, but just ask pertinent queries, going to the root of the matter with a smiling face all throughout the day. On this occasion, I would like to allude a few lines in Gujarati coined by me, which aptly describe the true nature of a leadership as the Honourable Judge of a High Court. I quote, "Tula sami vichardhara, સ્થિર અને નિર્ભય હાથ, નિર્ણયોમાં જળ હળ્યો, ધર્મ અને વિવેકનો સાથ. કૃતજ્ઞતામાં સાહસ અને સાહસમાં સંસ્કાર, નારી શક્તિએ આત્મા પમાડ્યો ન્યાયનો આકાર. શબ્દોમાં સંયમ અને મૌનમાં પણ માર્ગદર્શનની અભા, આપની સૌમ્યતા બની આ ન્યાયાલયની શોભા. પદ છોડવાનું છે કાલે, પણ મૂલ્યો અચલ રહેશે, અને આશા છે કે જ્યાં સુધી આપની છાયા પહોંચશે ત્યાં સુધી ન્યાય જીવંત રહેશે." Unquote. As her leadership steps into a new chapter of life, it would be with the comforting belief that while the robes may be set aside, the values she stood for will continue to guide this institution. Mauna Ben, will miss you dearly and remember you fondly. I take this opportunity on behalf of the state, legal fraternity of the state, as well as on my own behalf, to wish your leadership that may the years to come hereafter be as graceful and fulfilling, with robust health and unfading enthusiasm as the judicial life you have led so far. Thank you very much.
My Ladyship, Madam Chief Justice, My Ladyship, Madam Justice Mauna Bhatt, sister and brother judges of Ladyship the Chief Justice, learned Advocate General. I will not enlarge the list because it's already 5 o'clock. Learned Advocate General, former Honorable Judge Justice Umesh Trivedi, learned senior advocates, my esteemed colleagues at the bar, Registrar General, registrars and officers of the registry, and esteemed family members of Madam Justice Mauna Bhatt. Before I begin, I would request Honorable the Chief Justice that next time when the farewell reference is held, please do hold it at 4:15 rather than 4:30. It rightly fell from Madam Chief Justice that it is this institution where Ladyship Justice Mauna Bhatt has spent 36 years. We want to share many things, many incidents, constraint of time, because everybody sitting here will have a chance to hear me again, but not again to hear Madam Justice Mauna Bhatt. Parting is always difficult. send off and to say goodbye is painful. When we say bye-bye, we cheer up with a hope that tomorrow, day after tomorrow, soon we will meet. But when we say goodbye, it is good forever. Maybe we may be meeting, but so far as this institution, this august body, this pious institution is concerned, it's a farewell for good. We will not see you in the robe. We will not see you either as an advocate or a judge. And that's why goodbye becomes little painful. I'll be very brief, very short, because everybody is waiting here to hear Madam Justice Mauna Bhatt. To add something more from what has fallen from Madam Chief Justice and Learned Advocate General, as a residuary speaker, everything having been covered, all virtues, all qualities, and all contribution, I would only say that we enjoyed in appearing. When I say we, I speak on behalf of Gujarat High Court Advocates Association. We respect your soft but firm attitude, polite but determined, always smile on a face, never ever found any stricture or any observations against an advocate in any order or judgment, for which I express my sincere gratitude on behalf of my association. Madam Chief Justice and Learned Advocate General gave little background of Mauna Bhatt, coming from Anand, and her father a distinguished lawyer, and his contribution to the legal profession. Over and above his contribution to the legal profession, he served to the fraternity also. He was a member of Bar Council of Gujarat and truly contributed for the welfare and upliftment of the profession as a whole. He was wedded and committed to the welfare of the junior members of the bar, and brought and suggested several revolutionary steps while serving as a member of Bar Council of Gujarat. It is that background with which she came to Ahmedabad and got married to Bhatt family. Mr. R.P. Bhatt, who is our mentor, who taught us in our junior days how to present before the court. He taught us, we used to go to him with all difficulties, and not only that, let me share, it was first year of my practice and I was in the Supreme Court, and he saw worry on my face, stress on my face. He said, "What is the problem?" I said, "I'm not getting a hotel booking." In those days, Delhi had very limited number of hotels. Even in the hotel where he stayed, there were no rooms. He asked me and made me stay in his room till the next evening. Such a solid, humble and polite background that Bhatt family possesses made her a remarkable advocate and a great judge. When she was called by the then Chief Justice Vikramnath ji, offering her to be a High Court judge, she had a very brief period, as mentioned by Madam Chief Justice, 4 years and a quarter. And I asked Manish that for 4.5 years, what's the useful purpose? And the answer was brilliant. Manish said, "I'm sorry, Mr. Bhatt, that she wants to pay back to the society." Look at the quality of thought. She feels that God has been bountifully kind to me, and it's now my duty to pay back to the society. A judge who throughout remained fully committed to the duty. On Friday evening, I got a message. We were waiting for Her Ladyship to come and grace the occasion which the Bar Association had arranged at the High Court lawn. And the message was that Her Ladyship has permitted an urgent circulation and matter is going to occupy Her Ladyship till 6:30. Only yesterday when I was here before the court at 2:30 to make a request to Madam Chief Justice to declare 15th of January as a holiday, an advocate met me and said that, sir, please do something. We must have the list of court masters. If urgent circulation comes, what do we do? I had an urgent admiralty suit. Fortunately, I mentioned before Madam Justice Mauna Bhatt, and she was gracious enough to grant urgent circulation on the penultimate working day. Today also, while sitting in the courtroom of my Lord Justice V.K. Vyas, I was watching the signboard or rather display board, and I saw item number 7 going on at 12:30. So this is the commitment with which she was wedded with the institution. It's already 5:07 and all my friends have to hear my ladyship. So I conclude with my good wishes, my best of wishes on behalf of my bar, that your second innings, because I still recollect when Justice Chandrachud was Honorable the CJI of this country and he was addressing the bar on the occasion of demitting the office of an Honorable Judge of the Supreme Court. His Lordship said that I purposefully don't use the word retirement, because retirement is sitting at home. So I would wish a wonderful second innings and all the very best on behalf of my association, also on my behalf to my ladyship.
Honorable the Chief Justice, Srimati Sunita Agarwal, my esteemed brother and sister judges, Mr. Justice Umesh Trivedi, former judge, Shri Kamal Trivedi, Learned Advocate General, Srimati Manisha Laukumar, Learned Additional Advocate General, Shri Mitesh Amin, Learned Additional Advocate General, Shri G.H. Virk, Learned Government Pleader, Shri Hardik Dave, Learned Public Prosecutor, respected senior advocates, Shri Atin Oza, President, and all office bearers of Gujarat High Court's Advocates Association, Learned Registrar General, Registrars, member of the Registry, advocates, and all present here. At the outset, I would like to thank Honorable the Chief Justice, Learned Advocate General, and the President of Gujarat High Court Advocates Association for having spoken such nice words for me. I feel truly honored and privileged. Like others, I also entered this august institution to fulfill my dreams. And today I am here to bid farewell. The least I can do to pay my deepest gratitude to the ones who shaped my career and made this journey easier. As said, I never intended to pursue law. After having graduated in microbiology, I had envisioned my life to be surrounded by white lab coats. However, as fate would have its way, I entered this august institution in the year 1990 after my marriage and suddenly realized that a black coat looks better on me rather than white. My legal journey started with appearing before late Justice R.C. Makar, who used to take up tax matters. Over the course of my career, as an advocate and as an senior standing counsel of the Income Tax Department, I had privilege of appearing before the finest judges this country has seen in terms of understanding of taxation laws, integrity, and demeanor. During those years, I learned that intellectual honesty, institutional discipline, and collective responsibility is the paramount requirement to be maintained. I am thankful to all these judges who helped me in many ways in shaping my career. I learned from them to get clarity on the section before going to the judgments, a quality which helped me even while deciding matters while on the bench. While others found income tax as a subject too technical, it helped me to understand the scheme of various acts, which strengthened my confidence when I took up judgeship and after having been exposed to multiple laws. While I was learning the complexities of law, my all-time senior opponents, late Shri K.H. Kazi, late Shri K.C. Patel, and late Shri J.P. Shah, to name a few, ensured that on my entering the courtroom, they met me with a smiling face and ended with the encouraging words on conclusion of the day. After having put in 30 years in this court, my involvement in the tax matters helped me. It just so happened that while I was arguing a matter relating to interpretation of subsection 15 of section 2 of Income Tax Act, Honorable Justice J.B. Pardiwala, now Honorable Judge of Supreme Court of India, remarked that from the dais that my experience can better serve this institution. As destiny has designed, the dice rolled very quickly, and I was called upon by the Honorable the then Chief Justice Vikram Nath, now Honorable Judge of Supreme Court of India, inviting me to join the bench. I owe my judicial career to both these wonderful, human, honorable judges and would like to thank them from bottom of my heart. Post elevation, my time at the bench has been bouquet of flowers. I had a privilege of being part of bench with some of the finest judges, senior judges. Each one of them acted as a mentors and have guided me throughout. I am thankful to each one of them. I am particularly grateful to the Honorable the Chief Justice for the confidence reposed in me by allowing me to continue with the same roster until the final date of my tenure. Adding to the above, I'll be grateful for the inclusiveness and unwavering love and support shown by all my sister and brother judges sharing the dais today with me. I would be failing in my duty if I don't mention Mrs. Justice Vaibhavi Nanavati. Having known her since our practicing days, she ensured that I am given utmost ease and comfort while venturing as a judge and throughout this journey. As it has been a smooth journey, now it is time to express gratitude to my special ones who have played pivotal role in shaping my life and career. Firstly, it reminds me of my mother, who used to teach me at an early age by saying, "Beta जीवन एवं जीवजे के व्यर्थ ना जाए," meaning live a life which does not go waste. I have endeavored all my life to live by this principle and shall continue to abide by the same. Having said this, my biggest supporter, my father, a big-hearted advocate in a small town, Anand, made me believe that nothing is impossible. His magnanimity in life became an example for me to follow and achieve. My bounden duty would also be to thank my grandmother-in-law, without whom I would not have been able to leave the house to pursue the profession. Even though all three are not with me today, they always remain with me and would have been very happy seeing me giving this speech. Likewise, I owe my change of coat color to my father-in-law, Mr. R.P. Bhatt. Daddy, I'm yet to see anyone so passionate for law, and this has what inspired me back and then, and will continue to inspire in future as well. I also thank my mother-in-law for the support. My husband Manish, I'm short of words to express my feelings. Your support has been unparalleled. You have encouraged me to work till the last minute I was on dais. I hope I have lived up to your expectations. My two sons, Malak and Munjal, have compromised their childhood with my long working hours. There are many, but one incident needs a special mention. Both of them always had some reservation of my attending their parent-teacher meeting invites. But on the day of my elevation, I was gifted with a white sari by both of them. I am blessed to have daughters-in-law, no less than daughters Mansi and Shaili, with my precious grandchildren Ahana, Vihan, and Shanai. I have been supported by my attached staff members, Smita Nayak, Dipti Patel, Shrijit Pillai, Shivani Shukla, Madhu Vachani, Harshad Makwan, Prabhat Dabi, Jignesh Gandhi, Ranjit Singh Parmar, Prithvi Singh Dabi, and Kishore Nemawat, all of whom have relentlessly rendered their services. I thank each one of you personally for standing with me through these years. I am thankful to my legal assistant Yuvraj Gadvi, Aman Sangvi, and Asutosh Singh Rajput. I would also like to thank Registrar General Mr. S.D. Suthar and all the judicial officers come registrars who have worked in the registry during my tenure. I would also thank the staff of registry for their unwavering assistance all throughout. I also render my gratitude to the protocol staff for having taken care of me and my family comforts. As I take leave of this esteemed institution, I carry with me not only the precious memories of cases and judgments, but the warmth, support, and companionship from the members of the bar. You have been my greatest teachers. Even though my sons have warned me not to say this, but at the cost of being scolded in next 30 minutes, I wish to mention two things to the young advocates. Firstly, there is a life outside your mobile phones. Secondly, no subject ever too complex or forbidding when approached with a discipline and humility. To the young members of the bar, the judicial path offers a rare privilege to serve justice with independence and integrity. This service to the cause of justice need not be shadowed by legacy or the absence of it. As I retire, look forward to life where I will finally read judgments without taking notes, hear arguments without a cause list, and perhaps most excitingly, give opinions that are no longer binding to anyone. With the heart full of gratitude and the best wishes to the future of this court, I once again thank you, everyone.
This sitting